The New Zealand government has opened its diplomatic mission to Asean in Jakarta to help deepen its engagement with the region as the country celebrates 40 years of relations with the Southeast Asian bloc. The mission is also expected to take a role in helping Southeast Asia transition into the world's 7th largest economic bloc under the ASEAN Economic Community. New Zealand's first dedicated ambassador to ASEAN, Stephanie Lee, says the mission's goal is also to look for trade opportunities. The country's trade minister attended the ceremony. In a Q&A session with Southeast Asian business leaders, Tim Grozer said members of the AEC will have to work with the differences between their countries' regulations. He also expressed his hope that Indonesia's integration into the global economy will also benefit her trading partners. A report by ANZ Bank says New Zealand saw $13 billion of trade and investment with ASEAN in 2014 and could expand that to $27 billion by 2025.
Now, the kind of things you need to do to implement our free trade agreement are exactly the same kind of things you need to do to implement the ASEAN Economic Community. So it's about capacity building, it's about strengthening a whole range of parts of the government system, about making sure you've got good competition law, that you've got good regulatory practice, that standards and conformance are up to scratch. This is something we've been doing for quite some years now. We're continuing. We'll be shortly announcing a new package of assistance from the New Zealand side.
So we hope that the President's approach, which will be to integrate Indonesia more closely into the global economy, will be good for Indonesia and good for its trading partners such as New Zealand. The view based on our experience is that harmonisation is very difficult to advance because inevitably the bigger country wants the smaller country, or countries in the case of ASEAN, to harmonise their practices with them. And you just get inbuilt resistance. So the approach that actually we learned from Australia in the first instance, because historically the Australian states that are part of the Australian Commonwealth use this idea of mutual recognition to deal with the same problem in a more sophisticated way. And influenced by Australian thinking, we found this approach works better. It's far easier to get people to accept that your approach may be a little different from mine, but it